Hi, I'm out at Sleepy Hollow State Park today running in the Nike Pegasus Turbo 2s. I have over 100 miles on these shoes and I'm excited to tell you all about it.
Hey, so welcome back. I went 5.07 miles at an easy 8:20-minute mile pace. Today, I'm taking a much closer look at the Nike Pegasus Turbo 2 after 100 miles. We're going to be looking at the durability of the upper, the midsole, and the outsole. And I'll also talk about the performance and what it's like to run in a shoe. Hey, so before we get too far into it, let me just hit a couple of the stats for you of the shoe. So for a men's US size 9, it comes in at 7.5 ounces or 214 grams. It's considered a neutral road shoe. For the stack height in the heel, it's 24 millimeters, and in the forefoot, it's 16 millimeters. Looking at the upper, it's a synthetic mesh material. It's considered to be translucent, so I did hold it up to light to see if I could see through it, and you can kind of sort of see through it, but regardless of that, I did find it to be a lightweight, breathable material. It's hot here in Michigan, so it doesn't seem to matter what you have on foot. Your feet are going to get warm when you're out running, but I felt like the upper did as good a job as it could do in keeping my feet cool on my runs. And you'll see that the material has held up really well over the last 100 miles. I don't see any signs of wear anywhere. So I'm really happy with the durability of the upper. I think it's performed really well. Now it is a bit narrow in the toe box, so I did find this shoe to fit snug. And that just kind of leads me right into the eyelet chain. It's got kind of an offset pattern to that eyelet chain, but I did find that it fit my foot really well, especially from that midfoot back to the heel cup. I felt very secure in the shoe, and I think that they did a good job in developing that eyelet chain the way that they have done. It just, like I said, made it fit like it was more of a racing shoe, and especially given the weight of the entire shoe being only 7.5 ounces, it does have a very much of a racing feel to this shoe. The tongue of this shoe is short, it's thin, it's a bit stretchy. I kind of wish it was just a little bit longer, maybe 1/4 of an inch or so, but it performed fine. I didn't have any issues of it wandering around or bunching up, anything of that nature. Looking at the padding in the heel collar, it held up really well. There's no signs of wear anywhere in that material, and it's pretty minimal, but it was more than adequate to do the job. Looking at that heel tab, you can see it has a little bit of a flare to it. I found it to be really comfortable. Also, the heel counter has just about the right amount of structure for me. I felt like my heel was securely set into that heel cup area. I didn't feel like I had any slippage in my heel, either up or down or side to side. So let's take a look at that midsole. On top we have ZoomX foam. On the bottom we have React foam. And let's take a really close look, because this is where I've heard some horror stories from people that that foam is either pulled away from the upper or it's pulled away from each other. And as you can see, I haven't had any of those issues at all. This foam has held up terrifically well. The ZoomX foam is just as bouncy and has just as much energy return as it was the day that I bought these shoes. And that React foam has held up equally well. Of course, React foam is much more durable, still highly cushioned, but a little bit stiffer than that ZoomX foam. And so consequently, when you're running in a shoe, and this is a really fun feeling, you kind of squish down pretty quickly in that ZoomX foam, but you hit that React foam, and because it's a little bit stiffer, it really does bounce you back up. So you quickens your foot strike just a little bit, and it just helps your energy return through your gait cycle. I really enjoy running in a shoe from day one. Now, some shoes I have to kind of learn to run in, or after running in them for a while, I learned to love them, so to speak. This pair of shoes, the Peg Turbo 2s, I didn't have that issue. I loved them from day one. I ran probably a little over 11 miles, I know, on that very first run that I took in these shoes. And I remember I had wanted to go further, but because of the thunder and the lightning and all that kind of good stuff that was coming up, it wasn't safe for me to continue on. Otherwise, I would have. So it's a great, fun feeling to have underfoot. So I've really enjoyed the Peg Turbo 2s from a performance standpoint. So let's flip them over and we'll take a look at that outsole. See how that rubber's holding up. It has a Pentagon lugs style on the bottom of the shoe, but it's covered with rubber from heel to toe. And you can see that there aren't very many signs of wear here. There are some. Now, obviously, I've got over 100 miles on these shoes, so it's certainly not unreasonable to expect to see some wear. But it's certainly not excessive by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I think this shoe has held up terrifically well. I've had it mostly on pavement, but you can see from that run video footage in the beginning of this segment that I also have had it out on gravel surfaces as well as in the grassy areas. And I've always felt pretty secure. And it's done really well on all those multiple different surfaces. So I'm really pleased with how that shoe has performed on those different runs. These shoes retail for $180. That's a lot of money, especially for a daily trainer. And there's a lot of daily trainer options out there that run, $50, $60 less than these. So the question is, would I buy these again? I would. They're really lightweight. They feel more like a racing shoe underfoot. They've got lots of cushion. They have plenty of energy return. And I've really enjoyed running in them. They seem to fit really well for me on my long progression runs. So, after I've been running, an hour or so, and then I need to kick it up a notch, and then I need to kick it up a notch again toward the end of the runs, they've done really well for me in that category. So I've enjoyed running in them. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe give it a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you can be notified each time that I upload new content. As always, run tall, run strong, and be kind to each other. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.